are you maximizing your listing? And what that means is
income.
Maximizing the income that you can get from your listing. Too many of us, I think, we take the listing and our goal 100% is to sell that listing. But if you're not using that listing and marketing it to the best of its ability beforehand, during hand, after, then you're not maximizing your listing, which means maximizing your business, maximizing the income you can make off that deal that's out there.
Can I just
can
say
tell you
one
about
thing?
stock.
Let me just say one thing. In all of my 35 years, I have still never seen, not once, have I seen a better lead generator than listings. Listings are the best lead generators in our industry, bar none. Listings. So what we're talking about right here is maximizing your income and all the different things you can do to maximize your income from your listings. Now, I think what Donny and them are showing you here is what everybody's looking at right now looks like is the transaction coordination.
No, first it's the maximize listing page.
Okay.
It's going to flow into that.
Okay, good.
So, no, that we're getting both. Both of them are going around. I wanted both of them because they tie in together. So the maximizing listing page you're getting is the one pager that you're getting there. And we're going to put this on the Nest as well. But those are, to me, the things that ideally in a perfect world you might say, yeah, I'm going to do those on all my listing. But really when you look at yourself and hold yourself accountable, are we doing all those 21 things each time we take a listing? Because that's how you get the next listing in that neighborhood.
That's right.
And the next listing in that neighborhood. And how you meet the buyer at that open house that was convinced you're doing a good job. Every time you do a listing, you're on display for everybody in the neighborhood. And that's how you go from, people say, well, Donny, how'd you go from 20 listings to 30 to 40 to 80 listings a year? Well, it's doing these things every single time you get a listing. You know, and a lot of them may seem daunting. The second piece you have is what we're now bundling and calling the Samson concierge services. Concierge services. Say that 3 times fast. And why we say that is we're going to go through this list of making sure we maximize potential. But if at times it seems too much, well, we've got a whole department here at Samson now that will help do all this for you. From the marketing listing to the self-promotion to help you get deals, transaction coordination, and graphic design through Holly. So all 4 of these major things, which are in the Samson Concierge package you have, are things that if it's too much for you to do, or you figure out that you're not doing all of these things, then I would highly encourage you to enlist our services here at Samson Concierge so that you can do all these things. Because you might say, well, I don't want to spend that $200. Well, look, it doesn't matter to me whether you spend the $200 or not. But if you're not doing these things, then you're not using that listing to its full potential to get the next deal. Do all the things. And if you're not, get somebody to help you do all the things so that you'll get the next deal and the next deal and the next deal.
And we did change this now
Yes.
that you will collect all of it at settlement. Originally, the only thing not is the social media. If you got somebody that you want to hire here to do all your social media, that was like, I think, page 3.
Yes.
That you still pay for up front. But the other 2, the transaction coordination and now the listing marketing package. Those can now, you don't have to pay for up front. You can pay for them out of your commission check.
Because we realized that was a barrier to some of you. You would see these great packages for $150, $250, or $350, and you would say, well, it sounds good, but I don't really want to come up with $300 right now. I'll just kind of fake it myself and kind of do what I can and put it out there. Well, we don't want that to be the barrier. We want you to do this the best way possible. And either we'd encourage you, great, get with our people, learn, do it yourself, but if you're not going to, get the package you want to get. We'll charge you at closing when it goes. If that deal doesn't close for some, we'll put it on your tab, we'll get it to the next closing. Because we want to help you be as successful as possible. We don't want the upfront cost to be a reason you're not succeeding or thriving to do the best job you can with that listing.
That's
You
right.
got fired up with that one.
That's right.
Holly, right here. Hold on one second.
Can you put these documents like interactive so if we are going, so we can fill up what we did along the process on Cardinal Nest?
We could the maximized listing one, we can work on putting that in an editable PDF probably. I think right now it's just a pretty PDF that we're going to post on the Nest when we're done here. This has all been put together in the last 24 hours. So it's not up on the Nest yet. But we'll work on doing it as a checklist form. I don't think that's overly difficult. But I do think, you know, as we go through here, and I know we don't have a ton of time to go through each one, but the idea being that it is like a checklist. Like, you're looking at these things. If this is what
Good realtors
a
do.
good realtor will do. You know, if you walk over, I'm going to put Casey on the spot here, but if you look at Casey's thing, you know, what they do for each listing, I'll bet you it looks a lot like this. Now, he's got different stuff he does within stuff, but the 21 things that he's got to do to do a good job, it's this, you know, to make sure that you're getting the next deal and the next deal. And you know where I got this from? The straight list that I was doing when I stopped, you know, and then I had to double check. I was like, got to get my mind back to when I was listening. It's like, what did I miss? So if you're doing all these things, you're going to do it. Think of it in 3 steps. 1, I'm doing the best job pre-marketing as soon as I can possible. I want it out there, coming soon signs, signs all over the neighborhood. The sign can get up as soon as possible. Coming soon on Facebook and Zillow if we can.
Time out.
Yes.
The coming soon.
Yes.
Coming soon. I mean, there's your leads. That's it, man. Get the coming soon signs up. Let the neighborhood know this thing's coming on the market. The buyers that are driving around there looking for homes in that neighborhood are going to call you. That's how you get buyers. You get buyers from, how many times, Kay, you ever get a buyer off your coming soon?
First of all, as far as coming soon signs, yeah, we get a lot of people calling us early on coming soon.
Damn right.
Pat went to Florida. Billy took over his deals. Billy's picked up 3 buyers on the calls for his signs. 3 buyers, 3 contracts. And Pat's been gone for 10 days. Have a nice time in Florida, Patrick. Bye-bye. But I mean, you know, you take over sign calls for somebody, it's not a waste of time. You get your butt over there and show those houses. That's how you make your money.
But if your sign wasn't up there or it didn't have good branding on it and it didn't have signs leading to that sign, then it's not going to do those things. And they may seem insignificant at the time, but you don't get the stories like Casey's talking about with 3 sign calls off leads unless I'll bet you anything I got in my wallet that he had signs leading up to that. And he had great branding on the sign and it looked good. And he had stuff in there that made people want to call him and want to bring it to that house. I bet you had really nice flyers out front that made the house look good. All of these things we're talking about are what made them already seem like a pro before they picked up the phone. Because there's a lot of times they'll pick up the phone and ask a question, hang up. But they could tell that was a professional outfit that once we talk to you, and you want to try to hook us in a client, well, we know what we're getting already. We can see how you're professionally handling this listing in front of you.
3 buys off a sign call in a week period. That's what it's all about. Get the signs up as soon as you can. Make sure, like I've always got it around here, that your phone number is the big phone number. Mine, you can't even see. Get your phone number on that sign huge and get leads before the thing even hits the market. You're going to pick up a couple buyers on that. And you know what else? The neighbors see this stuff. The neighbors see how you handle that listing like a pro. You get it up ahead of time. You get as many people looking at it. You're showing it. Doggone it, this is how you get listings next week and the week after that from these listings. So
I even had my phone number on the directionals while I was going out there because you want your phone number and your website. I had my website and my phone number even on all the directionals. It's $1 or $2 extra per sign, but it's more and more getting your name brand out there, getting that phone number out, there's times I look and I see a generic Samson Properties directional somewhere. Well, that's great, but it didn't. You spent the money and spent the time to put it up there, spend the extra $1 and make it be your name that they're seeing all the time and your phone number. Because now when they're in that neighborhood, they're always going to know that they had a Donny Samson listing in that neighborhood because they were going to tired of seeing my name and my phone number all over directionals, everywhere they turned, and my phone number and my web address. They're going to know who sold the house down the street by the time I was done, though. That was my goal. I was going to make sure they know who listed and sold that house before they were done. Without being pushy, but having it all over, doing a good job. So the first thing I said is get professional pictures. That is the... Now Bright lets you do 80 pictures.
you almost said a foul word.
I wasn't close to that.
I saw it.
I thought of it.
I saw it.
But Bright lets you do 80 pictures now.
He thinks in curse words.
Don't use, I think in curse words. Don't, 150 pictures, I think in curse words. That's so funny. Don't do iPhone pictures. Don't do these things. Spend the money. There are good professional photographers out there. You are selling a house, and you're going to get paid a lot of money at the end. But don't even think about it, how much you're going to get paid on that house. Stop being so narrow-minded as, I'm only going to get $5 grand on this. No, it's about the 25 grand you can make if you do a good job because you're going to get 2 other clients that are going to give you 2 other clients that are going to give you 2 other clients. That's way more than 25,000. I just lowballed it. But get professional pictures. If it's a nice house, consider putting, I shortened this later. I wrote a lot of words here.
Hey, let me ask you, do you think neighbors are looking at your listing when you put it in the MLS? They're looking at it, right? If you put bad photos on there, is that going to make you look like an idiot realtor? It is, isn't it? It's going to make you look like an idiot,
You didn't
isn't
just
it?
think of curse words. You said
That's
it.
right. I did it. I said it. You're an idiot. If you put it out. I mean, this is important. This is you. You're putting your.
You have a 0% chance of getting another listing in that neighborhood if you put up iPhone pictures.
Yeah.
0.
It's your
Because
audition.
anybody that looks at that listing is already going to say, that's how they're going to treat my house if I sell it.
And on the other hand, if you're doing a tremendous job putting out great stuff in the neighborhood ahead of time, they're going, I'm
Right.
listing with that person.
So with these professional pictures, and the second one I put is a property-specific website, especially if you get a nice property that can show good with lots of pictures, nice single-family house. A lot of them will do it for you. When you use Home Visit, they'll give you this beautiful, and other photographers too, but they'll give you these great single property website platforms that you can link to and put the links all over town. Put a rider on your sign with it, and all these different things that you can do to really impress the neighbors on what a great job you're going to do marketing this home. So single property websites, sign out front, coming soon rider we talked about, coming soon on Zillow if possible. A lot of times you have to pay or be a premier agent to do those, but get it out there. Those are going to get buyer leads to call you because everybody's on the websites out there.
Now, Donnie, may I stop you one second? To get that featured agent, which is what people want, right? I mean, they want featured agent on Zillow means it's just your picture with your listing, not the other 5 realtors on there. And in order to do that, I think you have to be a featured agent. You have to buy a zip code.
So that's 2 different things. To be the only person on your listing, you have to pay a minimum right now. I think it's $350, and you get 10 a month for up to 10 listings. So there's not a lot of people that are doing that kind of volume that can justify that, but that's that. Now, to get a coming soon, all you have to do is be a premier agent to buy a piece of any kind of zip code advertising. Now you have, because you're a premier agent with them, you can list any of your properties as coming soon.
Now, what
that
that
can
means
be a minimal
is,
investment.
I think what some people did is, well, they said, I'm not going to buy a $200 zip code in McLean. They might buy a piece of a zip code in Fredericksburg, even though you don't care, but it costs you $10 a month. But now I'm a featured agent, and I get my coming soon.
There are a couple people that have found oddball zip codes out there, paid $50 a month just to have a couple impressions, but now they've bought into being a premier agent and they can list coming soon properties on Zillow.
Listing coming soon on Zillow. That's going to get you leads. If I get one buyer in 2 years, it's going to make me 15, 20 grand. I mean, that's worth it. It's worth it to me to go ahead and buy a little piece of a zip code down in Warrenton somewhere that I don't really care much about, but it only cost me $10 a month or $20 a month. But it now has made me a featured agent, so now I can display my coming soons on Zillow. That's a lead generator.
So I'm going to say fully, I don't know if they figured out how to close that loop yet. So if they did, I apologize. But but find the cheapest advertisement buy you can buy. Max got his hand up.
Danny, before you move on any further, I just want to support the comment about photos. NAR just posted an article that over 80% of consumers say that photos are the most important part of their excitement about getting excited about a property. And that could be whether it's a seller or a buyer. So stats don't lie. We have to pay attention to the photos we're putting out there.
Good point. Good. That was NAR, right? You said NAR?
Do not take your own pictures. Everybody's looking at them on iPhones, iPads, computers. Signs all over the neighborhood. Set up the next 2. Now, these are just things to make sure you're doing a good job for your seller. They're not as outward that everybody can see. But setting your sellers on auto emails for their an auto email and Bright to make sure they're getting neighborhood updates, setting them up in showing time. These are just things that I could go on and on about, but they're making sure that you're doing a good job for your seller. Those aren't as much as the outward appearance as some of the others. Create nice outside flyers and high quality brochures. Well, we've spent a lot of time in the last couple of months, I'm not sure if you've noticed, helping you do a really good job with this part of it. Okay? Helping you do great high quality premium flyers and high quality premium brochures. The investment and the price that we've made these things is like this. It's so small now to get awesome, awesome stuff. You need to have premium flyers, not just in the house, but outside. Because Bobby brought up a good point the other day to me. He's like, who takes all the premium flyers outside? The neighbors, right? Well, those are the people that are going to be your next clients, hopefully, right? So don't just eschew the box outside or put junk outside that's some flimsy piece of paper that's all balled up with the first time it rains. Put something good out there. I don't care if it costs you $5 or $10 to do 50 great flyers. That's so minimal. But you're going to impress everybody that walks down that street and picks it up. They're going to pick up one of those glossy premium flyers with high-quality professional pictures and be like, ooh, this guy, they're taking a good job at this house.
And I might have a little ad on that about me.
Yeah.
I might do one side of that about the house.
Yeah.
But the other side of it might be like
Yeah,
me.
that's what we were doing. We were doing one page with front all about the house, and the back side was really promoting, the team or what the services we offered if you were going to list your home with us.
That's right.
Yeah, and the other thing I said was it's a high percentage that person might not have a realtor. There's
Right.
a lot of people calling about houses they're already looking for
If
something.
they're
but
walking up grabbing a thing, they probably
flyer
don't have
person.
one.
Right.
Probably.
So the flyers and then the high quality brochures in the house. It
Donnie,
just gives a great impression.
We could go on this. I
Yes,
could do this
I'm
for another
past.
hour. Is there
Yes.
anything else you want to touch on? Because it is 11:15. I got to get him out of here soon.
No.
But is there any other?
No, just to sum up in a minute, just to look through this list and make sure you're doing all of these things. And the last one on your list, I think, is the follow-up side. So it's about doing a great job during the listing, doing a great job with open houses, which we've gone on and on about, but that's where you're going to meet all your people. And then the follow-up once you go through closing is sending out all your postcards and then following up with all these people to make sure that they become referral for life people. Now they're a part of your sphere that you're going to market to forever. If you're not doing the 360 view when you get a listing, then you're not doing it right. You've got to look at it from the second you meet this seller and you're going to get their listing agreement until 10 years down the road. You got to work them all the way and do all of the things, and that's going to create those. We talk about building branches. Well, if you just build a branch and it stops here, it's not anything. You got to build a branch that gets all sorts of tree limbs sprouting off of it because of all the connections you make from selling 123 Center Street.
And Donnie, I'm gonna come back to this list for a couple more meetings because I want to talk about each one of these different topics. I don't want to rush through them. These are all good points that get you leads. So I don't want to rush through this. I'm going to come back and go through this through other meetings.